Well, corn and soybeans managed to make some gains midweek while the cattle market pulled back. Ag Day's Michelle Rook has more on what analysts are watching in markets now.
Markets coming to you here from the day before the SDSU College Roadshow hit South Dakota State University. I'm Michelle Rook with Mike Miner, Professional Ag Marketing. We ended with corn and soybeans a little bit higher. The livestock markets, well, cattle were sharply lower today. And Mike, let's talk about the soybean market. We've had a pretty good run off of the lows. Most of that has been on China hopes, hasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of it. Technically, we held some really key support levels before this last bounce. Now we've had some trade optimism going into some key meetings between Besant this weekend and China in Malaysia there. And then we also have Trump supposedly meeting with Xi next week as well. So a little optimism ahead of those trade talks. And then also here's some poor yield reports out in the country.
But November beans running up into chart resistance, aren't they?
Yeah, we're going to have to make some technical breakthroughs here. If you looked hard enough, we could see some reasonings behind Elliott's Wave, some other things like that. But at this point, it looks like we're at a major resistance point and just really lacking what we need at this point to really break through to that next level.
Corn up a little bit today. Is it just following soybeans, or is this lower yields, or what?
Yeah, corn's been following soybeans pretty aggressively. Corn held some really key support levels here around that 415 area earlier in the week and last week. We've been able to build off of some short covering due to some poor corn yields in Iowa specifically, and that's helped us along here.
425 D's resistance has been pretty tough, hasn't it?
Yeah, we're going to need to break through that gap or get to it at this point on this D's corn. We have some really strong support levels here right around this 410 area. I don't want to see that old low get taken out, so we'll see what we can do.
And an ugly day in the cattle as the market plunged after more details of the Trump plan to lower beef prices, right?
Yes, a lot of uncertainty. That's going to obviously be the key word right now regarding this cattle market. Nothing fundamentally has changed dramatically. It's mainly news headlines at this point regarding any trade deals possibly between Argentina, Trump, and what he ends up doing here for these cattle farmers.
And the funds keep liquidating, you think, as a result?
It looks like it. At this point, the nervousness makes this market very uneasy with the massive long position that they've held. Easiest way is out.
All right, thanks so much. Mike Miner with Professional Ag Marketing. That is Markets Now.